with the 06, 07 compared to 08 to 15, the biggest issue is it lacks valving, period, on these forks. And the forks are 10 millimeters shorter. So you have them flush, so that's good. So we'll start with that. But the biggest thing, it lacks fucking valving. So we end up going to a 12. We end up adding most of the high speed. And what the high speed does is once you start running out of low speed compression, you start adding some high speed to, so you can basically back off on the low speed. So the low speed bleed isn't fully closed. So now we'll set the compression, the low speed compression, to 12 clicks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm still shaking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we'll feel it. It's still soft. So let's go a little bit more. When I say this fork lacks valving, it fucking lacks valving.
It has a heavier spring too.
Oh, you see that? Big difference. So I like that. And then, so a lot of people think that when you're bottoming, just add preload. No, it's not preload. Preload is a tool to fine tune the way the bike's steering. So that's a tool to fine tune their geometry. The way your ride height is, you can fine tune that to get the bike to steer a certain way by adding or subtracting preload. So I usually like to start at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's check this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's check the rebound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. This lacks rebound too. Alright. So the biggest common misconception is you can adjust rebound and compression just by feel like this. Some people say you can't, some people say you can. I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like you can get somewhat close, but once I get close, I kind of back off a couple clicks because you can't truly generate enough force to feel the valving. A little more. And this just takes like finesse, it takes feel. But anytime I feel like it's close, I just back off a hair. Okay. So that's the front done for now. Oops. Lower that. All right. So now we're going to check the sag. And common misconception about sag is you can check sag on every shock. I don't think so. The only time you can set sag on a shock is if it doesn't have a top out spring, just like this one. So if you can help me pick up the bike from the peg.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Hold it. There we go. All right. Static is 18, which is really soft, so sit on it. So hands on the bars, feet on the pegs. You're at 38, which is soft, so 40. So hop off. Let's 2 ramps. Gets us to 16. I'm looking for 10 static and about 30 riders. So sit on it. You're pretty small. That's about perfect right there. All right. So we'll leave that there. Now we'll move on to the compression and rebound. That's feeling pretty good. I revalved this one, right? Okay. So it's got more range of adjustment than stock. So we're at 13. 1, 2, 3.
I think this is 08 to 16.
Lots count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then we'll do 12 on compression. 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so that feels pretty good. And the reason I know 12, 14 is because I designed it that way. Because of the valving. It's got my spec in there. So now, I'm going to come over here, Jose. Now what I want to look for is, I put one hand on the bar, on the left bar, and one hand on the saddle. And I want to feel for even tension of the springs. I'm not feeling valving, I'm just feeling equal tension of the springs. If it feels like, does it look like it's pretty even front to rear when I'm pushing on it?
More even than it's ever been.
Okay. So it feels good. The rear feels great, but the front still feels soft. So I think you need to do some work to the front end, but hold it. I'm at a little bit more compression. And you said there was springs in here?
Yeah, I think Racetech 10.0s.
It needs valving.
Yeah.
It doesn't. This fork setup didn't really lack spring. It lacked valving. So, oh yeah. See how nice and even it is now?
Never been even.
Okay, hold that. Add one more turn. And this is when I say this is just like, at this point, it's like finesse. It's just fine tuning. Just do one more click. Just like that. And again, I'm just kind of feeling to make sure there's equal tension. That feels pretty good. Yeah, so I think your front end needs some work. The rear shock just got serviced and revalved. So I think you need to focus on the front next. But
is it like valving?
Valving, yeah, you got to pull the valving out and revalve it. Pretty much just take the shims out and put new valving, a new spec. I've got a spec that works pretty good on this.
Oh.
But yeah. And we don't set sag in the front because there's a long internal top out spring on these that just, you can't set sag on with long internal top out springs because it gives you an inaccurate reading because it's so soft. You see what I'm saying? So I just do it like this because I can't measure it, and that feels really equal. So what we do now is just, this is a good baseline setup. You go out, try it out, feel it out, ask yourself, does it turn? Does it finish a corner? Is it stable? Do I have traction? And if you have any complaints, you just come back to us and we'll fine tune it from there.
Sweet.
So
this is better than I've ever been.
Yeah, there's more to it, but this is just a starting point, baseline, and we can fine tune it from here. Cool. So enjoy it this weekend.